number 3 for the Build-A-Page series. This is my grayscale kit that I put together. I actually put all the papers together with Wild Whisper papers, and I did a Wild Whisper live, and so I had this kit and 2 other ones where I had pulled out all of the papers, and then I put some extra embellishments and stuff, kind of fine-tuned the kits a little bit for this series. So my live is actually still up if you want to go check it out on the Wild Whisper Facebook page and kind of see how I picked these different papers. But essentially the How to Kill a Kit with Style kit theme for this month is vintage, and I decided to kind of make that work with my particular stash. I don't have a ton of vintage themed papers and collections, so I decided what I would do is look for things that were sort of vintage to me, so stuff that has been in my stash for a long time. And in the case of Wild Whisper, going through my Wild Whisper stash and pulling out some of their first collections. I don't have any of them completely intact. I just have bits and pieces and scraps and the odd 12 by 12 paper, but I thought I could definitely go through that stash and find all of their original collections and put some page kits together. So that's what I did. So that's where this came from. It's a few different collections. I think all 4 pieces actually are from different collections, and the background paper is actually a new collection. I just really like the black and white kind of stripe, and I thought it worked good with the rest of the papers. But everything else is from 2017, 2018, in and around there. But you can definitely go and check out the live if you want details on all of the papers and kind of my thought process and stuff. It's on the Facebook page still, not their group, but their page. And then I don't know if you noticed, but I switched out the picture because that's one thing that I did need to do. I needed to add embellishments to these pages, these page kits, and then I also needed to add pictures. And I had originally thought that I would use that picture of kind of a crappy stormy day and driving to work, because it definitely was on the grayscale kind of feel. Obviously there's tons of snow and ice, and then the road that you see is gray, so I thought that just kind of worked good and would blend in and kind of make a cool looking layout. But I didn't love that I pulled out the All Heart collection big chunky acrylic hearts, and they wouldn't have gone with a layout about crappy winter weather, because it definitely wasn't a ooh, look at the pretty snow kind of picture. It was more like, I can't believe I have to drive to work in all of this, and the weather's really bad out. So in order for me to use all of the elements that I put into my kit, I decided to switch out the picture. So I just went through some photos that happened to be sitting beside me, and I found this adorable little picture of me and Landon doing some fun little photos that we like to do. And so I thought it would work really good. It's mostly black. You can see, I can't remember if that's because it was late at night or if that's just the background that it actually gave me on Snapchat. I'm not sure, but the back is mostly dark, and then those white kind of little bear ears or whatever just, poke out and stand out quite a bit. And so I thought there is enough black and white in there to make it kind of go with the theme. But also I put some labels in this kit, thinking the labels themselves are all gray, and there is a little bit of a blue outline, but on a previous layout, I was able to just color that blue in and change the color. And so I thought for these labels, I would probably definitely be able to use a black marker or something like that and get rid of the blue if I wanted. But then when I saw this photo, I figured there's just that little touch of blue in the ears. And so maybe I could have just that little touch of blue in the labels as well. So it kind of worked out better for me. Oh, excuse my head there. Trying to line up my shaker pocket, and I do a really bad job of it. It's definitely crooked, but you know what? I'm going to go with it. I put in all the time and effort and I got it stuck down and secured really well. So I wasn't going to go and try to pull it all up and straighten it. I guess I probably could have, but it's down, so that's where it's staying. But it is a little bit crooked. I'm okay with that. But I decided I was really trying to figure out how I could go ahead and get all of these patterns all layered together with that picture in the background. I know when I was putting my kit together, I kind of talked about how I intentionally was looking for that solid color or a solid piece of paper that would help me to break up all of the patterns. And so the gray paper that I used for my shaker pocket, that's one of the reasons I pulled it out, was that I figured it was a good way to kind of give a little bit of calmness in between all of the patterns. And then I didn't really use it that way because I ended up creating that giant shaker pocket. I wanted to do something different and have something a little bit fun on the layout and use up a bunch of those sequins. They're all black and white and there's a little bit of silver in there and then also some clear ones. So I definitely wanted to use as many of those as possible. And so giant shaker pocket it is. And I love the way it turned out. I think it's so fun and I love shaking it. And what I decided to do when I do giant shaker pockets like this, where, I probably could have dumped that whole bag of sequins in there and filled it right up, but it's not, it doesn't really need that. But, you have so much space that you're trying to fill and all the sequins fall to the bottom. And so one trick that I like to do in situations like that is if you glue a bunch of them to the background, then all the other sequins will kind of catch on the ones that you've glued down, and a lot of them will actually stay up at the top of the pocket. And you can kind of glue your sequins to make little like channels or, kind of strategically catch the sequins that are loose and kind of keep them floating near the top if you want. But that's definitely a trick that I like to use. And also you want to make sure that your foam that you use is actually thick enough that your sequins can move around, but don't make it too thick because you do want to have just the slightest bit of resistance where your plastic sheeting is, and that will also help to cause a little bit of static, and you'll have sequins that will stick to your whatever, if you're using acetate, or I just used a page protector, but whatever you are using as your clear window, if you have too much of a gap, you don't get that static quite as much when you shake the sequins, and that static will also help to hold some of the sequins up higher so they don't all fall down right away. So just my little trick. You don't really have to worry about it too much with smaller shaker pockets, but with really big ones like this, you don't want all of those sequins to just fall straight to the bottom and then you don't really see them. So I just glue a bunch down and get a bunch of static going in there, and page protectors actually work really good for that too. So I tend to pick those more than like acetate. If this is going behind another page protector in an album, I will just go ahead and use the page protectors. If I'm making a card, then I go for acetate because I want something a little bit harder and more durable. But in this case, I think that page protectors work really good. So that is what I did with my giant kind of snowfall, I guess you could say, of a shaker pocket. And I don't know if you noticed, but I also only glued down white and silver ones. So if the black ones do sort of sprinkle down to the bottom, that's okay with me. There's still a scattering of white across the top. And so it kind of looks a little bit like snow. And I thought that was just, I don't know, a fun little touch that I did. But will it actually make a difference? I'm not sure. I just thought it was kind of reminded me of snow, and so I chose to just glue down white and silver ones. So once I got that all in place, I just made 2 really simple layers behind my photo with the other 2 pieces that I had, and then I decided to do my 3 little embellishment clusters. I cut out those labels that I was talking to you about. I picked just 3 really plain ones and popped those into 3 spots. I also have those white and black bows, and I really wanted to get one of those put down there. I only have the 2 of them left. They're from Maggie Holmes, and so I really wanted to get one used up. I feel like I'm in a bow mood lately. I've been putting bows on a lot of my layouts these past couple of months, and I don't know why. Then I might go 6 months without using bows at all. So there you go. But I'm in a bow mood. So I popped the big kind of fabric Maggie Holmes bow down in the bottom. And then I also had those little glittery bows that I put in my kit as well. So I picked a black one and a white one, and I just put those in the other 2 embellishment clusters. And then each cluster also got a camera that I fussy cut from a Wild Whisper paper, and the top one and the left-hand one got little pins. No, sorry, they're paper clips. A white paper clip and a black paper clip. I don't remember where those came from. Either Recollections or maybe Freckled Fawn. Actually, I think it could be Freckled Fawn. But I thought those were kind of nice too. And again, a different texture. I think I said that a few times when I was putting this kit together, that I was just throwing all kinds of textures into this because it's a lot of black and white and a lot of pattern. And so the interest, I think, comes with the different textures. So there's the really cool Wild Whisper paper, which is kind of more glossy. And then the texture from the sequins and the shaker pocket, and then the fabric of the bow, the Maggie Holmes bow, and then the other 2 are more like a glittery paper, so that's a different texture. Then you've got the paper clips and some puffy sticker cameras as well, which were black and white. So they're the soft puffy sticker, so if you can envision that texture. And then the last thing is the titles. So along with that snowy picture that I had chosen, I wanted to use that UGG word, which is from the All Heart sticker sheet. I tried to use up the rest of my stickers, but I had 5 of them, and this word was one of them. And so I popped it in there thinking it would work really good for the crappy weather, right? And I could just have the title on that picture be UGG. And that was the one thing where it was like, if I don't use this picture, then the title might not work. But if I do use the picture, then I won't be able to use those giant chunky acrylic hearts, which, I forgot to mention, are also in there and are definitely a really cool texture as well. And so I decided to switch out the picture because I thought maybe I could still use the title. And what I chose, I don't know, maybe it doesn't work, but I thought it was kind of funny. I put, "Ugh, could he be any cuter?" kind of thing. So I think it works, and it's true. Look at how stinking adorable he is. He's so cute. But yeah, that's what I ended up going with, and I picked a bunch of different thickers, just trying to break up some of the lines in that black and white paper that I've put my title on top of. I thought maybe just adding some different fonts and different sizes and different styles would help to, I don't know, give the eye something to look at instead of just focusing on all the differences in the patterns. But that is it. That is my layout. I'm just highlighting some of those words in white, and it's all done. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Definitely go and check out the other ladies with their links down below, and I will be back again tomorrow. So until then, happy scrapping. Bye.
Bye. Thanks to me. What about the channel?